Hello, and welcome to Science Talk with Adam. Today's topic is sleeping pills. Sleeplessness is a universal condition with many different causes. Sleeping pills can effectively make people go to sleep quicker, but they are overprescribed and may have detrimental side effects. Sleeping pills should only be prescribed when insomnia is apparent and the patient has tried other techniques before requesting the pills. The effect of sleeplessness is being increasingly diagnosed and treated as insomnia. Insomnia is someone's repeated inability to fall asleep. When you have insomnia, your awake chemicals, including adrenaline and norepinephrine, may be more active than your sleep chemicals, so you aren't able to relax and fall asleep. But it is unclear if the US is facing a true insomnia epidemic, or there is a surplus of diagnoses and drug prescriptions. Medicalization, or the process by which neurobiological processes become treated, may contribute to the increased diagnosis and treatment of sleeplessness as insomnia. Increased sleeplessness among young adults and middle-aged adults may be caused by non-biological issues such as stress, social problems, or increased use of technology. And these issues lead to the consumption of sleeping pills.
How do sleeping pills work?
That's a great question, Carter. One of the most important chemicals involved in sleep induction is GABA, or gamma-aminobutyric acid. The Institute of Neurosciences, Mental Health and Addictions explains how GABA is a chemical messenger that is widely distributed in the brain. Its natural function is to reduce the activity of the neurons to which it binds to. It is believed that GABA can control the fear or anxiety experienced when neurons are overexcited. GABA receptors are channel receptors that change shape slightly to allow ions to pass through their central channel. When GABA is attached, the channel opens and allows negatively charged chloride ions to enter the neuron, thus reducing its excitability. Both benzodiazepines and non-benzodiazepines help GABA reduce neural activity.
What's the difference between benzodiazepines and non-benzodiazepines?
Katie, I was just about to answer your question. Joseph A. Lieberman describes how benzodiazepines were the main type of sleeping pill before the 1990s. They're still prescribed for the treatment of insomnia today. However, their use has significantly decreased due to the undesired consequences of abuse, dependence, cognitive and psychomotor impairments, and other effects. The non-benzodiazepine drugs, which include pills like Ambien and Lunesta, have largely replaced the benzodiazepines for insomnia treatment because of lower risks of dependence and abuse. So the question is, if both benzodiazepines and non-benzodiazepines use GABA, why do they have different side effects? Well, according to the update on the safety considerations in the management of insomnia with hypnotics, it shares how benzodiazepines act at multiple GABA receptor subtypes, the A1, A2, A3, and A5 subunit, which account for their hypnotic effects as well as the undesirable effects such as impaired cognitive and psychomotor functions, while non-benzodiazepines only bind to one of the 5 receptors, the A1 subunit, which just affects memory. Also, non-benzodiazepines are relatively short-acting, with half-lives ranging from ultra-short of 1 hour to intermediate to 6 to 9 hours. This prevents the dangers of sleepiness during the day. Many people turn to antihistamines, a perceived less intense sleeping aid, but there's little evidence that they improve sleep. They can also cause next-day sedation that impairs driving, as well as racing heartbeat and constipation. The medical letter, which reviews drugs, recommends against using antihistamines for sleep. Some doctors say users of Tylenol PM may be taking acetaminophen they do not need, which can cause liver failure.
How much do sleeping pills actually help?
That's a great question, Liam. In an analysis done by the National Institute of Health, the researchers concluded that although Ambien, Lunesta, and Sonata worked, the results were not overwhelming. The analysis said that the average time to fall asleep only increased by 12.8 minutes compared with fake pills, and increased total sleep time only by 11.4 minutes. the drug makers point to individual studies with better results. Even with these results, Dr. Dagramji finds that his patients get satisfaction from these sleeping pills. Now, with the knowledge of how sleeping pills work, the difference between sleeping pills, and the effectiveness of the pills, one can conclude that they aren't miracle drugs and they do have some side effects. If you have trouble falling asleep and fear insomnia, you should first try these helpful tips recommended by the FDA, like avoiding caffeine, going to bed at the same time every night, and having less time with electronics. Sleeping pills should only be a last resort in fighting insomnia. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed Science Talk with Adam.